So the CRM being the main antagonist in The Walking Dead, Rick and Michonne, is a very exciting concept, and I can't wait to see more of the CRM go up against Rick. But in today's video, I'll be discussing what role will Jadis play and what role will Major General Beale play. So stay tuned. And now before we actually get into the video, I'd like to ask you all to like, share, and subscribe, and thank you guys so much for the support. This growth is all because of you guys, and I just really appreciate it. Now, I do have a new goal in mind of 5,000 subscribers. So if you guys want to be part of this new journey to 5,000 subscribers, please hit that subscribe button, and please enjoy the video. Thank you. And now, as we all know, in Season 9 of The Walking Dead, Rick blows up the bridge and causing him to actually fall, where Jadis finds him and she saves his life by calling the CRM and taking Rick to the CRM base. And now when Jadis actually does talk to the CRM soldiers through the walkie-talkie, she does say that I'm just trying to save a friend who saved me. And now, this proves that Jadis is actually starting to appreciate what Rick did, and even though after Season 8, when she double-crossed him a couple of times, he was still willing to take her into the communities and, give her a place in there. And now in this moment here, Jadis is repaying Rick for the favor, and she is taking him to a better place which could actually take care of him and treat his wounds. But also, Jadis did have a selfish intent when she actually traded off Rick, and that's because she wanted her place in the CRM. She's been working towards it, and she just saw Rick as the person to get her into the CRM. So I guess it was just like a win-win situation for her in that moment. And now we fast forward to World Beyond, and in World Beyond, Jadis actually does say to Huck that she told the CRM that Rick was a B even though he was an A, because she didn't want Rick to end up in Elizabeth's lab. And as we all know, in the labs of the CRM, A's end up as test subjects where B's are assets. So even though Rick is working for the CRM, he's doing labor for them, right? We could see from his attire that, he has like a job of killing walkers out in the wild. He was actually saved by Jadis, and he didn't end up in a lab. So this actually does question Jadis's role in the Rick and Michonne spin-off, and that's because a lot of people actually do see her as some sort of a villain, but we could actually see her turn out to be good and actually help Rick and Michonne escape the CRM, even going against the rules just to help out Rick and just to have him escape and to go back to Alexandria. And now again, throughout this whole show, while Rick is trying to escape, like how we did see in Season 11, Jadis could try to, convince Rick to stay in like the CRM and to say to him that this is a safe place for you, and even if you do leave, the CRM will be tracking you down and they will know where Alexandria is, and also your friends and family might be in danger if you take this step to leave and escape. But when Jadis sees Michonne, she could probably get a change of heart and actually help both of them escape, because again, she is a high-ranking soldier in the CRM, so she would know the city and the area much better than almost anybody else. So it does make sense that Rick and Michonne's only chance of actually escaping the CRM is with Jadis's help. And I do believe that in this show, if it's in Season 1 or if the show gets a Season 2, Jadis will end up helping Rick and Michonne escape the CRM. And now when it comes to Major General Beale, little is known about this character. They did mention him in World Beyond, but they never showed him. He is casted and he's going to show up in the Rick and Michonne show. So I see him as a big antagonist, probably the biggest antagonist that Rick has ever faced, and probably the biggest antagonist in the Walking Dead universe so far. But so far we do know that he's the Major General of the CRM, and he's actually caused the deaths of over 100,000 people and actually wiping out other communities, and everything that the CRM does is with his direct orders. So everything we see them doing, all the horrible stuff that we've seen the CRM do so far, is all Major General Beale's orders. And now I do personally think that the CRM are going to try to interrogate Rick and try getting some information from him about Alexandria and where did he come from and all of that stuff. And that's where they have to bring Major General Beale in to take matters into his own hands in trying to actually interrogate Rick. Just like how we see in season 8 when they kidnapped Daryl, when the Saviors actually did kidnap Daryl and they were trying all these torture methods on him to make him break and to join them. So again, we could see that same thing here where the CRM and Major General Beale will try to actually torture Rick to the point where he might join them. But of course we know that Rick Grimes is not going to join them, but they will try their hardest to do so. And now, seeing how ruthless Major General Beale is, it is totally possible that when he finds out that Jadis is helping them, he might end up killing her, and right in front of Rick and Michonne as well, you know, to actually prove some sort of point, or for her breaking the rules and trying to help prisoners escape, he will end up killing her. And I do think that that would be the end of Jadis' story, trying to help out Rick and Michonne escape, but then Major General Beale finds out and he ends up killing her. And now, how will Rick and Michonne actually end up taking down the CRM, including Major General Beale? Now, I personally think that they won't be able to do so, and that's because how massive the CRM is and how much manpower does Major General Beale actually have, and how big of a threat he is in general. But if they were to actually take him down in this show, only Rick and Michonne, I think they would do kind of the same thing as they did in season 11 of The Walking Dead, where the group was actually able to get some Commonwealth soldiers on their side, and they were able to take down Pamela Milton. Now, I think that that might happen in this show. Rick might actually come up with some speech or gets a lot of CRM soldiers on his side to have kind of a civil war in the CRM and to actually take down Major General Beale, with Rick actually leading his half of the CRM army against Major General Beale's side of the army. And now I think that this would be a big missed opportunity for a big crossover with all the other characters joining Rick against the CRM. And if they actually go down that route of a big crossover with like a movie or like a special season for The Walking Dead where all of these characters reunite and they actually go up against the CRM and Major General Beale, I think that Rick might actually get the help of the Commonwealth Army as well. And now if Jadis does not die in this show and she actually lives through it, I could totally see Jadis actually forming a rebellion against the CRM, and Rick might not be the one to do it. It could be Jadis, and that is totally possible because, again, we do see in World Beyond she doesn't totally agree with the way that the CRM are actually doing things, and, you know, just how they just wipe out these communities and how she doesn't like the labs and the experiments. Because if Jadis is actually bad, right, if she is the antagonist of this show, wouldn't you think that she would have already told the CRM the location of Alexandria and the Hilltop and the Kingdom? She definitely knows them, right? She lived there, right? She lived with all these communities. So the question arises, why didn't she tell them yet? And I do think that she is just keeping it all a secret, and she actually did adopt Gabriel's last name, Stokes. So she still has an attachment to Gabriel and just like Alexandria and the rest of the group. So that's why she's not telling the CRM where these communities are. But if Jadis actually does turn out to be bad, I could totally see Rick or Michonne killing Jadis. And if this show has 2 seasons, we could see that Jadis is the main antagonist for season 1, with Major General Beale being more in the background. And then when they finally kill Jadis, then that's where Major General Beale will actually step up and he will be a bigger problem to them than ever. But in this situation, if Jadis turns bad, I think that they won't be able to make it out of the CRM, and that's because, like, in order for both of them to escape the CRM, they need somebody from the inside to help them. And if Jadis is good, which is most likely, she will help them escape. But if she is not, and then they might actually be stuck in the CRM, and their only way out is for the rest of the group to come and save them, like Daryl and Maggie and Carol and all of them. Or we could totally see that whole CRM civil war within the CRM, where Rick rallies up a bunch of CRM soldiers against Major General Beale. He either takes over the CRM or he finds a way to escape. Now, I personally think that Major General Beale should have that role of Thanos in this Walking Dead universe, and that's because of how big of a threat he actually is to the whole universe, to all of the communities, to Rick himself. And just to have him for one season, just for him to be taken out later on, it just doesn't make sense. And I do think that they're going to have a big climactic battle in a Walking Dead movie against Major General Beale's army with the rest of the group, with Rick actually leading everybody. And when I say that Rick will lead everybody, I am counting in the Fear group, I'm counting in the main show group, and also I'm counting in the World Beyond group, and maybe some Tales character also if they actually end up crossing over with these main characters. And I personally believe that that's the best case scenario for this, and it's just the perfect way to actually end off this universe and to actually take down Major General Beale, because as much as they're building him up, it's reminding me a lot of Thanos, like how they built him up. He was more in the shadows, they didn't show him much, and then he came, and then it was a huge climactic battle in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. And I do believe that that's going to happen with Major General Beale. He's going to be more in the shadows, and then when he actually comes out of the shadows, when he's actually a main antagonist, that's where we will get that big Walking Dead movie with everyone together. And now that's it for today's video. I would like to ask you all to like, share, and subscribe, and thank you guys so much for this growth. I really appreciate it. And also, just as a reminder, my new goal is 5,000 subscribers. So if you guys want to be part of this new journey, please like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, thank you guys for watching.